Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Antonio's vlog. And of course, I'm having to do this as part one because we realized that he's never actually done a vlog. He used to document all his own training on his page. And Antonio's one of these lifters that I coach about half the year. Right? I originally took him from a squat in the high 200s, I believe, up to well into the 400s. The heaviest we ever hit in training was, I think, around 470, 475. And he squatted mid 400s in meets. So I took him up to that point. And of course, he's kind of in and out as a client. He's detrained quite a bit. He went ahead and bought a 6-month block of training again from me, getting ready for meets. And so we have to build him back up. Now, this vlog is starting part of the way through his training week. We're starting on max effort lower day because we got this rotation going before he started filming, but then he said, hey, I want to vlog. It'll give me some accountability, and he's going to do a couple meets coming up during this block. So we started that week off with a box squat and a deficit deadlift. Now, 4 people chime in on his week conventional. He's much stronger at sumo. We've pulled 500 sumo in competition, and we were going to work on his conventional simply because belt squats and conventional build his sumo. He can take 6 weeks off from doing sumo, get stronger at all those, and come in and his sumo will go up. He's just better at it. He's good at it. He's got the technique down. He does well with it in competition. So keeping in mind he's also a junior lifter. All right, but he's obviously a bit weaker than we were at previously. He's detrained. He's gotten out of shape again. Like, his conditioning has gotten pretty bad. So we've got to build all these things back up to get him ready for competition. And as he points out, he likes training. He likes competing, but it is not the main thing he has on his plate. So he does go through periods of time where he's so busy with his other stuff, school and everything, that he doesn't train as much as he'd like, gets in the gym once a week, and then we kind of build back up. We do it relatively quickly. So people will see that low 400s box squat, in that whatever 420 deficit deadlift, and they'll say, this guy's, kind of weak. But then those will be up 50, 60, 80 pounds by the time the summer gets here. We've done this before. So for supplemental work, what we're doing right now, good mornings, we're doing belt squats. He does some extra hamstring work. I don't think we got any of that on camera this time, but we do some hamstring curls. Mainly need to keep his hamstring strong, posterior chain strong. We run into a lot of issues with low back weakness, so stuff that we need to work on. But yeah, his glutes are definitely weaker right now too. He's noticed that. He can tell the difference. So we have to bring those things back up. All right, speed benching, pretty straightforward setup. We do a normal group rotation for him. We do 9 triples, 3 sets wide, 3 sets medium, 3 sets close. We generally do them against heavy bands for him. For people who are looking at the bands, yeah, that's quite a bit of band tension. We're running, I believe, around 80 pounds of band tension there. All right. Speed bench, right now I have to figure out where his weak points are. He says his chest feels strong, his triceps are weak. So we're going to do extra tricep work. He said mainly because when he's looked in the mirror, his chest looks bigger and his arms are smaller. So we'll go off that until I start seeing some max benching, and we'll figure out where more of those weak links are, and we'll get that bench up. But we kind of mess back and forth with pause and unpause just to kind of see where he's at with the speed bench. And I think I'm going to take him over to all pause work. All right. Right here, we're doing some JM presses. He is doing these as JM presses. I think I put skull crushers on his sheet, but considering a super straight JM press like this, I'll work with it. These are perfectly fine. But he responds pretty well to any of these movements as far as triceps goes. And we kind of rotate through these depending upon what's going on with his elbow health. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and hit the big guns, get these serious tricep movements in, because we know they're a possible weak link for him right now. Getting ready for meets here in a few months. So we're probably going to be, I think, 10 to 12 weeks before we step on a platform. And we're going to do a couple of meets. right, within a relatively short period of time. All right, for other supplemental work, because it is home gym right now, where he's doing most of the upper body, we don't have dumbbells and things. I wanted to keep his lower back in a good position, so we're doing Meadows rows right now. And again, we'll get stronger on these over time. But yeah, we're doing Meadows rows just to help build his lats up, build his grip up, all of those things. And I don't like to do a lot of pin leg row type rows for him, or standing rows where we load the spine, mainly because we're going to be doing heavy good mornings and stuff. So I would rather save his lower back for the lower body days, to where we can just hit it really, really hard. And these are a good substitute for him. And I think it'll be interesting, because I think most of my clients who are in the vlogs at least don't do those. I've had that come up. People say, how come you don't like Meadows rows? And I'm like, I prescribe them. What are you guys talking about? So there you actually see one of my lifters actually doing them. Now, speed squats here, those bands are getting a little loose at bottom. So he's got to figure out his band pegs on this setup a little bit better. That tension's not optimized, but we run a lot of band tension. For Antonio, usually 25, sometimes 30% of his max. So to put it in context here, that's over 100 pounds of band tension is what he should have on there right now. Right, should be just over 100 pounds of bands. And again, keeping with our other theme, we are doing conventional for the speed pulls right now, because if his conventional goes up, his sumo goes up. And I know that sounds a little odd. A lot of times people say it doesn't usually work the other way. Yeah, oftentimes it does, but for Antonio, anytime we train conventional and we PR on it, he sets a sumo PR when he goes to test it again. And the only time we get real specific with his sumo, just so that we don't wear his hips out, is when we kind of get close to meets, right? We get a little closer to meet, we'll work with it more. And it's mainly because his hips get so much work, because he squats really wide. Look at his belt squats. All right, his competition squats are that wide also. Okay, so we go way out there. So his hips are being worked very, very extensively. Okay, there's a lot of work happening there. And so therefore we have to be cognizant of that. We have to be aware of that fatigue that's placed on his hips. So we'll tend to do more of our pulling the other way, because this stuff will build his sumo up. Again, when he gets stronger at belt squats, we see an improvement in his sumo deadlift also. It's just something that Louis Simmons used to mention also. We've noticed that with him consistently. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.